am 215.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We always talk about how I pick the worst possible guests to actually talk and get a show off. I have done even better tonight. Let me introduce to you George Baldwin,
The best,
the Bob Stock,
better,
Kevin Brown.
and what's left over.
Exactly. I just suck.
I love it. So I'm just going to warn everybody in advance. I will post all the winners later if we do not get to them because I can't control the guy in the middle.
There's a good list here, too.
We have attempted to.
We have a good list, too.
So real quick, NHSTRA Vision, I want to give a huge shout out to Northeast Home Restorations. Guys, siding, roofing, decks, so much more. Call them today, 802-490-6397. When everybody talks about how great those cameras looked at Monadnock, it's because Northeast Home Restoration provided us with 2 complete sets of scaffolding.
Justin
2
Beecher.
complete sets of scaffolding so we could shoot from that shoot down perfectly, absolutely free of charge. Support the people who support us.
He says,
Northeast Home Restoration.
He says, wow, you got the old guy on. Sick. Justin.
Oh, he's talking about you.
I'm talking about you.
So
You're not that old, are you?
Who raced this weekend?
Old enough.
Anybody here race this weekend?
Bob showed up, but he didn't perform, which is Bob's life story.
No, that's not what happened. Let me explain.
Dude, you were a heat race hero. He was the fastest mini stock in the Northeast when it didn't count.
Let me explain.
He was really fast and
he was fast as
time trials there.
Gordon sold his car. He wasn't there.
Yep.
So I'm not going to win this week. I let everybody else go. And then the next time I go back, I'll win.
Yeah.
You were really fast in warm-ups.
Yeah, somebody messed with my car.
He used it all up.
Who's Leo Martin?
That's
can't
that is
ask.
Brian Martin's dad.
Yeah, you can't ask who everybody is who comments. Just let him comment.
This is going to get really old really quick.
Seriously.
Hey, Bob, what happened Saturday? Hey, Bob, what happened Saturday? I wasn't good.
That's a fact.
It was pretty self-explanatory if you watched it.
No, hold on. No. Bob was good, but something happened to the car because
something definitely broke.
He was fast as hell in the heat race.
You were flying. We were watching you up top.
You were good.
I pulled Randy to the side and I said,
Skylar Shippey was fast, that's for sure.
Skylar Shippey got
He stole his
schooled on
setup,
the
he said.
restart with his big motor by Bob.
I pulled Randy to the side and I said, just so you know, these are not mini stocks tonight. These are Bob stocks. And he referred to them on the PA as Bob stocks
Sure
most of the night.
That's awesome.
Then he was like, I don't get it. I was like, do you watch Inside NHSTRA?
Well, hold on. What Bob doesn't know is tonight is an intervention. That's why we brought George here. We're going to try to get you in a big boy car now. Get 4 more cylinders. Get you out there with the big boys.
But hold on. Saturday night at Monadnock, who had more cars? The late models or the mini stocks?
That is depressing, by the way. He's not wrong, folks. That is depressing. $1,000 to win 12 cars? Come on, guys. Get those cars there. That's a big race.
We had
That's a great series.
16 or 17, one of the two. 3 more cars, and I will still hold my bargain up and double the purse.
Look at that, guys.
Yeah, that's a good offer.
That is a really good offer.
Yep.
Did you hit the lottery?
He sure
you sent me
did.
all that work.
He said all that word.
Go look at his Facebook page for 5 minutes. Bob definitely won the lottery. He got really lucky in life.
He did.
That is for sure.
Why?
And she likes racing.
Yeah, she doesn't really like it. She just lets me go to it.
She just likes Bob.
She says,
we don't know why she likes Bob, but
I
she
remember
likes
the last
Bob.
time I talked to Bob, he's like, I'm done racing. And then I saw him at the track. He's like, yeah, she told me to just go.
Because she wants him out of the house.
She
exactly.
keeps telling me, she's like, why don't you just get a street stock? I'm like,
Yeah, she knows better. She wants a real man in her life. So she's like, let's get a street stock.
oh yeah, you guys are really proving that. Street stock drivers next to me.
I don't know. This guy's done pretty well in everything he's raced. Pro stocks, street stocks, modifieds.
I think Ben beat him a couple times in the Outlaws.
That it never happened.
George is refraining. He's like, I'm going to hold my laughter until the end.
That is fake news. So obviously George Baldwin. So everybody who's down here knows of George. So I didn't grow up. I didn't even realize there was towns other than Claremont, New Hampshire till I was like 17.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So the 100% is I didn't know a lot of the people down here. And then you start hearing George Baldwin, chassis builder, legendary guy. George, how did you get involved into racing to begin with? What got the bug in you? And when did you?
My father.
So when did you start racing?
84.
1984.
Dude, you are old.
I wasn't even
Holy
alive.
smokes. I was 5.
5 years old.
I was 5 years old,
I wasn't
too.
even thought about yet.
Jesus. And you know what's crazy? The guy can still wheel it. He is
absolutely
really,
can.
really good.
So
really good.
Fill me in on your father. So your father was a racer too. When did he start racing? What kind of career did you? I don't know anything about your dad or any of that stuff.
He started in 1954.
Wow, my dad wasn't even thought of in 1954.
That's cra-
Holy
you-
crap!
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh,
He raced all the way up till 75.
Where was the first place you ever went out on the track? In what division?
Hudson Speedway. It was around 82.
Rookie stocks?
It was a rookie stock, but the lights were out. The track was closed, and I drove the car out onto the track.
That's somebody's cell phone.
George's.
I was like, what? What's
he's
that?
like, they're calling. Does someone like you on the podcast? Right? Looks just like you.
Guy looks just like you. What are you doing on that show?
So 82 was your first race, rookie stock. Lights went out, track was closed. So this was an unofficial race, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, I did like 3 laps, get thrown off.
Yeah, that doesn't go well. Those are the people that Ben has the reason we have cameras now at the racetrack.
Jess, can you send Chas the link?
There is not a spot you can go at Hudson and not be on camera, by the way.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There isn't a one, which is great.
That's good. I took a motorcycle out there once on like a Tuesday night, pouring rain. That was fun.
I was at Monadnock, and the forecast said 0.0% chance of rain.
And it poured.
So I had my camera set up. I'm in the middle. I have a camera set up in turn 3.
That
I
has
have
a silent button.
camera set up in turn 1. Welcome to Bob's Tech Talk, guys.
Yeah.
And then
Bob's Tech Talk.
I get a sprinkle, and I'm like, no, it's not going to rain. And
Saturday.
then it started downpouring, and I have cameras, and I have nobody there yet. So I had to go take off running, and then I had to get everything bagged to get back up in the tower. And I look over, the AC is blaring. I am drenched from head to toe. And I sat there for as long as I could. And finally, I just looked at Mike and Craig, and I was like, listen, we're either going to shut that off or it's going to go out the window because I am freezing to death. And they're like, oh, we're cold. We thought you wanted it on. I was like, come on.
The fog got crazy at Monadnock, too.
The fog was absolutely out of
Wild.
this world. So I want to make sure that we clarify this. So the fog, we did go down at track level. At track level, you could still see. It was like 10 feet up.
It was wild.
Isn't that the Quebec fires or something that's going on?
What's that?
Isn't that with all the fires from Canada coming down?
No, this was
All right.
straight up
It
fog.
was real fog, all right.
This right here, my camera from turn 1 could not see the backstretch. All of a sudden, my guy's like, I don't even know if I'm following a car at this point.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it was crazy.
what could you do? Just go for it. You know what else was crazy? Kimmy Rivet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys, they are looking for donations, I believe, of 08 Troyer parts. So if you are in possession of any of them, definitely get a hold of Rivet Racing because they are going to need your assistance. I'm going to play this real fast for people. If you have not seen it, we did post it on our socials.
She crashed.
Yes. Oh, 100% crash. It's playing right here on our end.
I thought she
So-
was riding her skateboard.
That hit
She looked like it.
was absolutely out of this world. I haven't seen anything like that. I think she got lucky because she went up over the wheel, bounced, and came back up and hit the
Yeah.
wall and went up over it.
I personally would say that she's lucky that she was on top of the wall instead of just
Yep.
piling it into the wall.
Like you said, Mark, it was the bounce that helped her. When she got up in the air, hit
100%.
it came back up.
It looked like Cole broke a ball joint or something.
So talk to Cole today.
Tie right
Cole
in there.
said he lost a left front lower control arm.
yeah.
And he
could see
did
it.
want to let his sponsors and everybody know that he is stepping away from the 7 modified, and he's going to start focusing on his own car and moving forward and try to build stuff up for the future. But he wants to just, narrow down the amount of cars he's in. And I feel bad. That was a completely unintentional wreck. Like I kept hearing everybody, oh, it was the bumps, it was this.
That's the beauty of NHSTRA vision.
that
Well,
didn't
to be
have.
You can go back
it
and
is the moguls of rumble strips at Monadnock. Those things are crazy.
That car, you can actually, so if you go back and roll the NHSTRA vision, you can see it. The ball joint or the lower control arm let go before he ever even went into the corner. And you could see the front wheel start going forward, and then it went out and
Yeah,
they
it was
hit
just
and
racing
wheel
incident.
bopped. I feel really bad. Let's see. I only saw Cole because the race cars weren't. Yes, I agree. I am watching the camera, the screen in front of me, and they're all watching the front of the track next to me. And I'm like yelling. I'm like, car over the wall, throw the red flag. And they're like looking at me like, what's going on? I'm like, right there. And it happened so quick in the car, it kind of blended into the
And
wall.
it was realistically like being there. It was very quiet. Like it didn't. It just
It was
sounded like they were
crazy.
racing. It was wild. It was crazy.
Bob made a suggestion to me today. He's like, I love Astrovision. Do me a favor. We need more car noise. So I wanted to discuss this because I had a lot of people.
You like hearing the cars? Well,
Yes.
You got to turn it up, but
As
you
long
can.
as it ain't some stupid four-cylinder.
Here we go.
See, I agree.
So we tried something new at Hudson. So I actually had
I hear
a
them
microphone.
all day at work.
I had a microphone set up that was pointing off the camera. It's a shotgun microphone, so it was pointing, and it pointed to the pit so we could get car sounds. So I can't put it on the front stretch because it gets the sound of the speakers and it plays a second later and it makes a loop. Well, apparently, I can't hear what's going on in those. Apparently, there was some quite interesting conversations happening that the microphone was picking up. So we're going to reevaluate where I get the audio feed from the cars from for this next race. So I do apologize if things were said. I don't know what was said. So
I'd say put it on Bob's car, but you'd only get about 10 laps, and then,
Yes.
then it would be off. So we wouldn't.
I think
wouldn't
the
wanna do that.
language would have been
aren't
worse.
The Heat's 8.
No, I mean feature. You'd get about 10 laps
Oh.
of the feature, and that's it.
Yeah. He'd be top, just like between the two of you, you can get Bob who can go out there and run the absolutely best warm-up laps, and then you can be main it better than
Put it
anybody
on
I've
me.
ever
We'll be
met.
doing, the backstroke in the pool. Just put it on me there.
I cannot wait for your pool to be done. Pam, I'm moving in. I cannot wait to
Come on
start
over.
hanging out at Downtown's house.
Kevin's new number is going to be win one, be main.
I never won a B main. I still haven't
Yeah,
won
he
one.
was second.
You're still second place.
I didn't even win the B main.
Kevin's car that he B-mained it with last year is sitting there right on the table in front of us.
Finally got it from Green White Checkered. He did a fantastic job too.
No, that thing looks awesome.
Yeah, he did a great job.
You know what we should do with it now? We should go ahead and give that to JD and let him paint it green. Same car.
Is it the same car?
So now I need to know, this is a two-part question. I want to know, what was your biggest success as a racer?
My biggest success?
Yep. What are you the most proud of when you finally hang it up in another 40 years and get out of the car? What are you going to look back on and say, out of anything that I ever did in racing, this is what I'm the most proud of?
Met Bob.
I was going to say that. I literally was going to say meeting Bob.
I mean, I just go to race. I don't.
I would say his biggest upside was when he actually finally figured out how to use the 705. Was it the 705 they put on the Outlaws?
Yeah.
When he finally figured that out, then he was very happy because he was miserable trying to figure that tire out. You were.
I was.
Yeah, I remember.
All right. So now that we've heard what Bob thinks his greatest success was, I would like to hear what George's greatest success was. What are you the most proud of?
Milton.
That's a definite no.
That's a definite no.
Milty, don't listen to him.
We, by the way, have the absolute biggest studio audience that we've
Yeah,
ever had here
George
before.
brought him out tonight. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're a star.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Legend.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people here
And
on
Dennis
top
is-
of us four.
11.
11.
Wow. Yeah, what is you got to have one thing that's like, wow, that was awesome.
So, I mean, for me growing up, I mean, I've watched George since I was a kid. I remember, many years in that 7M Pro Stock. You were a rocket ship in that. Obviously, all your years, Double L Thundercar years and stuff. Those were a lot of fun. You and the Velozos back in the day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great battles that I remember as a kid growing up. I mean, you and Carl, you guys were building cars, kind of against each other, yet still had a friendly. I don't know what I don't want to call it a feud, but it was you guys were always.
No, it was.
You guys, you both were building pretty
we're
good
both
cars.
building good cars.
Yeah, and it was good times for racing. Was racing better back then?
Oh, way better.
Yeah, we always say that. Racing
me
was
and Carl
racing.
got along, and everybody else tried to
Try to spoil it.
make us
Yeah.
fight with one another.
So him and my stepfather were building cars, a lot of cars, right around the same
Who's
time.
your stepfather?
Carl Tyrone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and him and George built some good cars. But back then, you
Back
with
then you built good cars, not anymore.
built.
That's what he said.
We'll go. I don't know. His car's leading the street model division at Hudson Speedway. The points.
Yeah, but that's 'cause
And his car won Sunday over there. I don't know
That's
what
'cause-
you're talking about. This guy still builds rockets. He built 8-cylinder rockets, actually, unlike you.
8 cylinders.
8-cylinder,
I don't need 8 cylinders to feel cool, guys.
Apparently you don't.
4 is fine.
We just
Bob is the coolest person he's ever
He's
met.
not even cool. I don't know how he
Kevin,
could depict himself being cool.
I spotted Bob in the pits, and everybody kept walking by him and be like, "Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob." Bob has a fan crew that walks by him and says, "How are you?" And I'm just
he's probably given out gift cards to the garage as they're walking in. It's probably what he's doing.
I got a buddy, Chris.
Here, free inspection sticker. Say hi to me as you walk by.
Make me look important.
I got a buddy, Chris. He's never.
You don't have anybody. You might have an acquaintance.
No, he did have
Listen.
one person working on
he
the
did.
car.
I know this kid, Chris, and he's trying. He wants to.
more like
He's never been into racing, and he started to come do it. And he said the same thing Saturday. He's like, why do all these people like you? Do they not know you?
Exactly it. See, George and I, we go the other route. We're not there.
So how many years did it take you to get your first win?
I won my first race in '86.
How many cars?
2.
What?
Oh, 2 cars.
There was only 2 cars?
Oh, what do you mean? How many cars in the race?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
35.
See? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at.
the fields back then were stout.
35,
There was no
35
limits.
rookie stocks and was 15 laps.
Where'd you start?
25th.
Jesus,
Wow.
that must have been fun.
When
That must
I-
have been a fun race to run.
When I grew up, I grew up in Claremont. We used to go to Claremont Speedway, is what it was back in the day. It was a win just to make it into the feature back then.
Charlie
Because a
said, look
lot
at
of good
his
cars
text.
went home every single week.
Charlie said, "Tell Charlie he's banned. Don't even mention it."
Charlie is terrible
Charlie
with a
and
race
Mike
car
were supposed to be
now.
at my house yesterday, and they blew
who
me
is your
off.
biggest fan?
Charlie and Mike, you're done.
My biggest fan?
Yep.
Brian Gagnon.
I've been asked to ask you that by Chastity Baldwin.
I was gonna say Chastity Baldwin.
Brian Gagnon.
My biggest fan is my wife,
She is
Who
amazing.
is?
Chastity Baldwin.
Okay. All right.
And my 2 little girls, Bella and Natalia.
There you go.
There you go.
They got a whole good crew behind
Yeah,
you.
good for you.
All right. So now I need to know.
I'm 54 years old and I have a 4 and a 5-year-old.
Oh, man.
You started late. God,
I have
I won't even take a shower before Pam, but we're not gonna go there.
I have a 7-month-old.
Yeah, but you're still young. How old are you?
He's 18.
I'm actually 36.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Actually, one accomplishment that I did do one night at Star, I won a Pro Stock and a 350 Super Race.
Oh yeah, yep, I remember that.
Same
You drove a
night.
350 Super?
Oh yeah.
I drove a big block too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's
What
one
is
of-
You
your-
drive a big block every time you go out. I didn't know you drove a big block Super.
What is your favorite car? What is your favorite division or car? Even if it's
That-
not
that you made it
around
funny.
anymore,
That was good.
what
You
is
made
your
it funny.
favorite one to run?
My favorite car that I ever drove
Yep.
was a big block Super.
Those things scare me. I think the first time I met you was actually at Claremont. You were in a steel body Pro Stock.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
The LL. Like, and I remember getting pictures of it. It was like
That was
18 or
that car
19
was
or something like
awesome.
that.
That thing was gorgeous.
And I was like, that
Still
is
got it. You want to buy it?
that is the
I
most
don't
beautiful
pay for
car
stuff.
I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, this thing is amazing. I wish that series would have taken off because that was something super cool.
Jeffrey Pike's got a good question, but I think I know the answer. George, who did you look up to as a kid in the racing world? When
Bob.
No, I think I know the answer.
My dad.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of
What kind of career did your dad have?
a good one.
A very good one.
See, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we know when Bob's kid get older, he will really do good at warm-ups. Like, it will be absolutely out of this world.
My kid's going to golf because it's way cheaper.
And you make more
You
money.
think it is?
100%
Yeah,
is.
it is.
I
I
used to golf too. I'm a golfer. I
Were you-
spent like 3 years in golf camp.
Were
All
you
right,
as
who
bad
in
at
this
that as
room
you are
believes
racing?
Bob's a golfer?
I am a golfer.
I do.
Golf
I believe
camp.
it. I believe it because he's
Yeah,
got to be good at
3
something.
years.
He's got to be good at something. It's not racing.
They,
so
they were
it
trying
might be
to, they were
golf.
trying to calm me down. They had me tested for ADD and all that stuff too, and I always passed that.
What, that you had it?
No, I was good.
So I have been told by a little birdie that you may or may not have some well-known anger issues
Oh, yeah.
out on the racetrack.
George?
Yes. Would you like to discuss any of them?
I just don't take no shit.
There we go. You
That's
can't
putting
beat
it
that.
straight. He's not wrong there.
Ask Clark Brooks.
I don't think I've seen this one.
Garrett Sheldon.
Oh, got another question coming.
Bob, stop asking who people are on this thing.
All right, so I can tell you because Bob just answered this. He said wants to know when there's going to be a big money mini stock race.
That's why I was
Bob,
asking.
how many mini stocks need to show up and you will double the purse?
20.
20 mini stocks show up in Monadnock. Bob will double the purse.
20 mini stocks, and everyone after 20, I'll add another 100.
You are really digging yourself a hole. The
No, I
garage
didn't.
must be doing really,
I was
really
just saying, I
well.
hope the IRS is watching.
I should have brought my car. I had to get my. I don't drive my Jeep very often, so I jumped in it the other day and I got pulled over because it wasn't inspected because I haven't driven it forever.
Did you
So
stickers?
No.
I had to
George
go
does,
and
right?
get it done,
No.
and then they were like, "Yeah, you need like 19 things done in your car to pass inspection."
Yeah, they're wild. They're crazy now. Stickers are crazy now.
Chess, I'm getting hot over here. Come over and take over. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yep, just go. Yeah, that's actually probably the best way to go.
Bye, Kevin.
You could be like Kevin's daughter. Do you want to throw the iPad?
All right. No.
All right, real quick while they're swapping over, I want to go through a couple results really fast with you guys. Monadnock Speedway, NHSTRA Modifieds, Nathan Wenzel, Tyler Leary, Brian Chapin. The Young Guns, I'll tell you what, they have a pretty good young gun division taken off over there. Adrian Smith in that 97 car is going to be something to contend with.
I do.
Followed by Owen Zielinski and Marcus O'Neill. Pure stocks, we had Chris Davis, Nolan
When I was
McClay,
at
and Chris
Thunderlands.
Chambers. Six shooters, Michael Yetton, Steve Miller Jr., and Robert Shaw. The late models, we had Jeff Rollins, Matt
totally see
Sonhalter,
it.
Timothy Wenzel. Mini stocks, this can't be right. It doesn't say Bob Williams.
I told you I let them win.
Louis Mayer, Skylar Shippey, and Kevin Clayton. Once we said Shippey again, I just want to make sure everyone knows Northeast Home Restorations really did us a solid by providing us a bunch of scaffolding over there.
Is that Skylar's family?
That is, make sure you reach out to them. They do siding, roofing, decks, and so much more. Call them
They're-
today.
they're-
Hold on, let me get their
sorry.
phone number out.
Sorry.
802-490-6397.
They're a great group of people too, and he actually, I don't know if it's Skylar's brother or father or whoever it is, but whoever helps him with the car said he'd actually get in on adding money on top of the purse as well, which is pretty cool.
I love these comments are classic right now. Bob, read that one.
Bob dropped like a stone. Yeah, bad. It was bad. It was
Let's
bad.
everybody welcome Jess to the show. How's it going, Jess?
Good. Good.
This is your hero over here.
Yes.
I'm going to turn the microphone
And George.
over. Oh my God.
I've known you for too long.
That's the
I'm over
funniest
you.
thing Bob's ever said. I got to give you credit. Somebody get Bob a whippy pie or something. You deserve something.
I've known Jess since she was like this big.
Yeah.
I used to ride her mom's horses.
Yep.
I'm not going to dig further into this. I'm just going to move on.
I'm serious.
I don't know where this is going.
My mother and Jess's mother were really good friends.
Yeah. She used to cut my mom's hair.
Hair.
My hair.
Hair.
There's that accent coming out. All right. So meet George. George,
Yes.
meet Jess.
Yep. I've known George.
Do you know Jess?
For probably since I was 11, 12. He built my first race car for me, which I still have that car.
Do you really?
I do. I do.
What? Real quick, what is the car you posted online the other day?
Oh, that's a Trans Am.
That's going to be a
Yeah.
new race car?
It is. Yeah.
Is that going to
New
be a
Ridge Runner.
Baldwin chassis as well?
I'm hoping so.
Where did you
Bob,
get
will you
that?
build a car for her?
Oh, yeah.
Where did you get
I
it?
w-
Trailer park?
That's what it looks like, but
So?
no.
Did the guy have a ponytail and a jean jacket?
I
Oh,
don't- I don't
100%
know.
had to have.
Wasn't it a Led
Did he
Zeppelin?
pull out Cools?
Pack of Winstons?
Oh, my God.
Okay, so so
I don't think so. That doesn't work.
Ready? I'll show you something really cool. Ready? Ask Bob a question. Ask Bob a question.
are you an asshole?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, now Bob talk.
What?
Bob can't. Nobody can hear Bob anymore.
I can make him hear me.
Yes, you could. I'll unmute you.
yeah.
I would like to hear. So, the reason I reached out to George, or I had Ben reach out to George, because George is one of your racing heroes. So,
Yes.
somebody who grew up watching him, I would love to hear a couple of the questions you have, so I can learn more about him as well.
Well, I don't have questions, but I could tell you stories.
I would love to hear. George, would you like to hear a story about you?
Let's see if she can get it right.
Let's hear
All
it.
right, there's one that sticks out in my mind very well. Is we used to all go up to Canaan when they were open back in 2004 or
Yep.
so.
Canaan was such a fun track.
It was.
What
So
car,
we used
what car
to.
did you run there?
My outlaw when I was a street stock.
Isn't it still a street stock kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty sad, ain't it?
Yeah. Good. Sorry.
So we used to all travel. We used to meet up in the morning, travel up together. And I was racing in the kids' class up there, and he was in
Street stock.
street stocks.
With your brother.
Yeah, my brother raced with him.
With
and
Beach's car?
Yep.
So,
And then don't forget, then Chas started.
yes, Chastity started. Chastity was racing as well.
She didn't make
Forgot all
friends.
about that.
No.
She did not make friends. Chas did not make friends in a race car. I used to love watching Chas race.
She was good, though.
She
too.
was.
She was really good.
And she didn't take any shit.
No, no. So there was one night, George and this other person were going at it, I believe for first, and something happened with the both of them, and George ended up getting spun out by this person. So they threw the yellow flag, and George spun his car around, went in the other direction, full speed around the whole track, and hit this guy head on.
No.
Yes,
No.
he did. That's one of a few times I've seen.
One of a few.
My girlfriend just texted me, stop talking over Jess.
Thank you, Lauren.
I'm so used to it because I was trying to get the results out and Bob was having a conversation with the guy next door, apparently out the window or something.
Jay Ferreira. Of course he
I
remembers
remember that. Because he was racing up there, too,
Yeah, he was.
in the kids' class.
You could have got seriously hurt, George. Or you could have hurt somebody else.
That's the thing. I might
You
have
were
heard.
mad.
I was mad.
You don't even remember.
No.
That's how mad you were.
Seeing red.
I have a.
Yep.
Who was the
Not in your hair anymore.
He,
Yeah,
he's done.
Bob sidetracks. Just taking off on your story real fast, though. Out of all the years that you raced, whether it was a fierce competitor or whatnot, who was the favorite person you would go out there and race against? Who did you know you could put on a show and you could trust them?
Who did I like racing against? Like,
Yes.
Liked racing side by side with and
Yep.
everything? There was a couple guys. There was Mike Whedon, Phil Burrell, not junior, senior. Peter Van Dyke, I could run. Well, first Peter, when I first started in the Bud Light division, he tried to muscle me around a little bit, spun me out a few times, and then I just gave it back to him. And then that was the end of it. Then we could race.
Modern day, let's move it up to modern day because you still go out there and wheel the car on a fairly regular basis. What do you see differently in the drivers of today from the drivers 20 years ago?
No respect.
That is 100%. Like, I agree with that. Oh, Bob agrees with that.
Zero respect. Actually, there's some guys that still have it, and
Yes.
but the thing is you can tell when somebody works in their car, than when somebody has someone work on their car. That's what it comes down to. Is like when somebody works on their own car and they struggle the week before and get the car good, they're gonna give you respect and want respect because they want it to stay that way. And
All right.
you know what I mean? That's something that needs to happen. It's just crazy. Nobody cares anymore. They just want to. That's their line. They should take it. You know.
That bothers me as well. Let me see. All right, Kanan running against his wife and
Yep.
starting side by side. What did you do?
I would have wrecked her.
No, I just
Let her go.
no, I took off. I didn't even let her lead a lap. Greek come out, I just went.
Cole Littlewood says he's had a lot of good hard runs against you in the Outlaws.
Yes, he did.
Cole, I love that kid. I do. Like I said, his left front control arm broke. If people were wondering what happened this weekend, so I'm just happy they are both absolutely fine and they walked away from
Chas said no, he didn't.
I didn't what?
Take off from her.
Yeah, I did.
it. Chastity, what's the real story? Put it in chat so we can read it.
George, you had some good runs in the Outlaw, definitely. I used to watch some good races in that.
I've never once said hi to your wife because she scares me. I've heard so many stories about like basically what we were talking about. I've never even, because I figure if I never speak to her, I'll never get on her bad side. That way I can never be on the bad side at all.
Nah, she ain't.
No, her barks more than her bite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She said you suck.
I suck?
That's what she just wrote.
He sucks. That's 4.
Looking at modern day
She's in
drivers.
Florida.
Oh man, that must be nice. Modern day drivers, who do you see as the next generation when you look at the younger crew of guys that are out there right now? Who do you think are the ones that we should be watching at the local short track level?
Like, who's going to be around in 39 years?
I don't think anybody.
Like me?
Yeah, right? How many years total have you been out there?
39.
39 years.
Driving.
That is older than Bob, period. That's so sad. You drive a mini car. That doesn't count.
When
The
you grow
Bob
up,
stocks.
and get a V8
Why do I have to grow up? Why do I need a V8?
and go out and win a race, just one,
I just have to win one
from the back.
I agree.
from the back.
Have you driven a V8 car before?
I drove his car that he has one time and hated it.
Can we make this happen again?
I'm supposed to be driving that.
He's not
I'm
driving.
supposed to be driving a car that's at his shop in a couple weeks
Sorry,
or whatever.
It's not my car. It's DNL's.
Okay.
I'm just a driver.
Harmon says his 4-cylinder beat it V8. Actually, that did. I have seen that.
Yes, he did.
My 4-cylinder, not yours.
Was it his big motor or yours?
It was my motor.
Oh, look at that.
And little Jimmy had no tires left.
Oh, here we go. Harmon not only beat him, he moved him and beat him. Did he or did he not?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You ever drive a street stock with junk tires?
You ever drive a mini stock with 400 horsepower junk tires? The same thing.
Yeah, but he didn't have junk tires.
Who?
Harmon.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Harmon had. Look at Harmon's fingers. Harmon can't buy nothing.
It was such a pleasure doing the show for as many years as we've had. Like, it
invited
was
him?
really fun.
Who invited him?
Well, Ben wasn't feeling well tonight, so Bob texted me earlier. He's like, I have stuff to talk about. Would love to come on the show. And I was like, wait till next week. And then I had to call him back after and say, actually,
So
can
what
you
do you
come
got to
on?
talk about? How bad you suck?
No, I wanted to come on because you were on.
Oh,
I was terrible, hands down. No questions. Awful, terrible. Can't even explain it. Don't know. Terrible.
now we'll see how I do Saturday.
I was terrible.
How many more years do you think you got in you behind the wheel?
1.
Yeah, not Bob.
I was talking about George.
Probably just one.
Really?
No.
No, you can't do that. You have all the Bob fans
I don't have time.
need to follow you because they need a
Yeah.
winner in their life.
I don't have time.
So where do you spend most of your time at? You do build the chassis still.
Where do I spend most of my time?
Yep.
You mean
All
all
of
my
his
time?
All your time. A lot of people don't know you build chassis and all of that stuff. So
Yep.
go ahead and let people know where they can get in touch with you and how you can have a Baldwin winning chassis as well.
It just basically at my shop, Choppy's Auto Repair.
There you go. Got to get right out there.
Right in
Choppy's
Lowell.
Auto.
Low Mass.
Oh, Lowell.
Yep.
Oh, we're not allowed to say that anymore because the last time we said Lowell, like somebody almost killed Kevin. That was really bad. I forgot about that. Real quick, let's get into some Hudson results. Let's see. Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners. We had Joseph Frazier, Heath DeButts, and Tyler Johns.
Not Callie.
Callie did really good.
Yep.
I
She
was
did.
super proud of you. There was a couple times there I was like, Callie's going home with a trophy today.
Yep.
I'd love to talk to you about that more, but the last time we brought you on the show, you went, Callie, tell us who your sponsors are. You're like, Ben, who are they again? I don't know what to say. And then the microphone shut off and she went, it's so weird how that happens. Milty does the same thing. Doesn't say anything on the microphone, and then when he's not, he's all over the place. All right, the Granite State Gun Range 6-shooters, we had Steve Miller Sr., Steve Miller Jr., and Michael Yetton. Northeast Auto Import Late Models, Justin Beecher, Chris Schroeder, Milton Duran. MLM Diagnostics PR Stocks, Chris Davis, Colton Martin, and Zachary Zielinski. Guys, this next event, Hudson Speedway, June 18th, 1:15 p.m. Stand Up to Cancer, Jeremy DeCourcy Memorial. We have the NHSTRA Modifieds, Northeast Auto, Import Late Models, Granite State Gun Range 6-shooters, MLM Diagnostics Service, Pure Stocks, and the NEMA Lights. This Friday night, Ace Tex Auto Night at Claremont Motorsports Park. Also going to be the Dwight Jarvis night. So if you're a fan of Dwight Jarvis, Dwight will be there signing autographs. Going to be the Grand Marshal. Also going to be driving the pace car. Friday, 6/16, 5 p.m. I believe it's going to be Twin 40 Ace Tech Modifieds, R.E. Hinckley Late Models, Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws, Avery Insurance 6-shooters, and the LaValle Building Supply Pure Stocks this Friday night. This Wednesday night, Claremont Motorsports Park has practice. So a lot going on the schedule this weekend. It's going to be super, super exciting. Got over 20 Pure Stocks, guys, and it would be $500 to win for the Jeremy DeCourcy Memorial. So let's get those cars out there. We know they're there. Are the minis racing anywhere this weekend? They are not. Monadnock is off this weekend. Other than that, I want to hear your best George
Yes.
Baldwin story. You tell us the best Baldwin story because Baldwin doesn't want to tell us.
No, he doesn't. He's very quiet. But, well, that was probably my favorite.
All right, stop. You got to read the comment that just came in.
Bob, leave the fingers out of this.
Leave the what?
His fingers.
Harmon, because he keeps talking. Does he? You?
Do you ever see
Harmon-
him work on something now? He's like,
All right, now.
Okay, before I give this back to Kevin, I just want to say that I would never send anybody to go get their cars done elsewhere other than to George, because I think George does an amazing job.
But
And George has gotten me to win races. He's taught me how to drive. He's given me the best advice. He has so many wins that I can't even count.
do you know how many you have? Really?
How many?
111.
Jesus.
You need one more. That's the worst number in the world. 111 is that is my
He's gonna get another one Saturday.
worst number. So there we go. Then it'd be 112. Then we can have you back on.
Some funny moments with him getting kicked out of pretty much every single track in New England for fighting.
No.
Yes.
I didn't get kicked out of Canaan.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you.
When you went head on into the car going the wrong way, they didn't kick you out?
No. They kicked the other person out. Yeah, they did.
This is amazing to me.
I'm gonna disagree.
Because if they kicked me out, we were gonna take all our cars and go home and not come back. And we had 6 of them, so they needed cars.
Hey, what's your favorite Bob story?
When you went home,
I don't know.
Remember at the banquet? When we pulled the tablecloth off the table?
Oh my gosh, I was there for that.
I don't know this story.
So we were at was it the Chinese food place?
Yeah, Nanking.
And they used to have the banquets there, which was terrible.
That was the
but
last year, actually.
Yeah.
I would love to have a banquet at a Chinese food restaurant. Let's
No.
write that down.
No, it's
Not
bad.
this place.
Not this one, but there's
So-
others.
Were you drinking?
I think so. Yeah.
So
I'm not good at that. by
Yes,
the way.
I've heard many
no,
stories.
he's not. He gets mad sometimes. But so this table was filled with glasses and half drinks, full drinks, food, and he grabs the
Tablecloth.
tablecloth and tries to do the trick where they rip it off and everything stays on it. It didn't stay on it.
No.
Everything went all over the floor, all over the chairs.
Are
Yeah.
chairs? Are those light chairs just a little different?
Yeah,
or
they're Chinese.
Yeah.
They're Chinese
Yeah.
chairs.
Yeah.
All right, the most important question I do have for George is when are you going to let your lovely wife have a comeback? That is directly from your lovely wife, by the
she
way.
keeps asking.
Why not give her what she wants?
Give me some money, and I'll build her a car. You pay for it, I'll build it.
No, I can't do that.
Okay.
So you obviously have a pretty good control of your stats. Give me the best year you ever had. What year
Best
did you
year?
have the most wins?
96.
How many wins did you have that year?
Won 10 out of 17.
That is absolutely crazy. And we're not talking,
Hat star.
and we're not even, we're not talking like 9 cars. We're talking full fields back
Yes.
then.
I had a pretty good one in 2017. I had full fields. I won 15 out of 17.
So before I get off this, I just want to say that
I used to be pretty good.
Hey, I just want to say that I love George and he's a legend.
He absolutely is.
That's all.
And his wife just said, "Happy wife, happy life," and she'll give you money.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Jess.
Guys, Kevin's coming back.
All right, you guys can all tune out from here.
You know why? Because Jess spent 5 minutes in this chair and so annoyed with this guy, right? Yeah. He is.
It doesn't take long.
It's like having a show with a squirrel. He's so bad.
It's always great when I
You're good
start.
at anything. You can't drink. You can't drive. You can't use a mic.
Squirrel on crack.
Squirrel on the crack.
And it's weird. Is the second I start mentioning a sponsor or anything,
I don't know
it's
what I'm
like
good at.
right there, cues up exactly that every time. Like, let me talk now directly over exactly what Mark's trying to say because he's mentioning somebody who just gave us money and did something for the show.
That doesn't matter. Bob's more important.
Jeffrey Pike loves you.
Are you jealous?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk to. I actually finally met him at Lee.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. That's right. Because you went. We have your. We have
Oh yeah, I got my trophy.
your trophy sitting beside us now,
Yes.
right over here.
Look at that. Yeah,
That is a nice
really
trophy.
Nice guy.
That's way better than the
Jeffy's
one
a
I
really
stole
nice
from
guy.
Ben.
I'll tell you, that is a fantastic trophy. But to give me that at the beginning of the day at Lee Speedway and have to walk around with it.
That's the best part.
So I actually stuck it in.
What does it say on it?
It says 7% chance of showing up, and I finally did.
That's
So,
great. I love Jeff.
So I stuck it in Wayne Helliwell Jr.'s trailer, and if you've ever been to their garage, he's got plenty of trophies. So they made me come and get it. They're like, hey, get this thing out of here. We don't
want that.
we don't want that here. We got enough trophies.
That's a fake trophy. We don't want your
don't
fake
want that
one.
fake
That's a pity trophy right there to get you to
Hey,
lead.
look at least I got something this year.
Yo, when are you racing?
Next 2 weeks, back to back.
Are you going to put it in Victory Lane?
Hell no. Let George,
What
like,
are
hold on.
you renting a car?
I'm driving one of Billy's cars, Billy Clemens' cars. So with that being said, this is where
This car,
this
whatever
is
it was, the 43. Or
this is
43.
where George, I feel, I mean, he is. As Jess said, the guy's a legend. He's a fantastic driver, chassis man. He checks a lot of boxes. He is. He's really good. Bob is just jealous.
His
And-
headset's getting tight.
Okay.
But this guy can jump behind the wheel of a car after taking X amount of time off, and he doesn't skip a beat.
And
Versus me,
he's so good at getting in everybody's head too. Everybody, as soon as George is
really
there,
good. He is good at
the
that.
whole division's like, George is here. And they're all off their game. And George does nothing. He's just like, oh, I'm going to go race. And they're all nervous.
Nah, I actually enjoy it. I think George is a blast to race. He's a lot of fun. But with that being said, so we got to go this week, kind of knock the rust off Old Brown here, and then show up for the Muddy Mike. As I've told you guys, we'll be there for the Muddy
I think
Mike.
there's going to be a ton of cars for
There
that.
is. You coming? Oh, we talked about this. You don't have a...
Possibly.
Possibly. Ooh.
I would like to see Bob in that race as well. Can somebody make that happen?
I will be driving a car after that race at Hudson.
I am
A
so
street,
excited.
Yeah.
late model thing.
Definitely get your subscriptions to NHSTRA Vision because this will be one you do not want to miss.
Bob and I are heavily utilizing NHSTRA Vision, are we?
If it's awesome.
It is
I
awesome.
love it.
Yeah.
And if
And I paid him nothing to say this.
I
No,
can't
he-
wait if I'm racing a late model thing and I'm with him.
Oh, wait.
I'm a 2-race deal and I'm done.
Well, I'll give you the rental for the next one so I can race with you and wreck you.
He won't even make 8 laps, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this threat. So, why don't you just save yourself the humiliation? Let George drive it.
No thanks.
Why, you seen that thing?
He has it at his shop.
No comment, I guess.
How do you think Bob's going to do?
He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Bob will do it.
And there'll be no right rear left. I can already.
Once he
Don't-
figures it out.
All right, so there is still laps available for the Mighty Mike Lewis Memorial Race, guys. Reach out to Mike Robinson. Let's get these laps sold. This is the 25th anniversary race, isn't it?
It is.
How many cars do you think?
I'm going to say high 30s, 36 to 40
What do you think?
35.
so far.
How
35?
many are you going to start?
No,
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
Whoa! Those are
Glad
big
he
words.
was off mic for
are we
that one.
time trialing?
I think so.
So no, it'll be time trialing for the top
15 or so, or
15 or so.
yeah.
The B main, if there's
Oh, I'm gonna sit on time trials, go for the B man again. That was a lot of. I had a lot of fun last year.
Is that the last race you did at Hudson? Was it Mighty Mike? Or was that a belt race?
Mighty Mike. No, I did a belt race at Lee.
It was Mighty Mike.
Well, Mighty Mike is a belt race.
It is a belt race, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we did a belt race at Lee later on in the year.
And he hit the wall and then got mad and sold the car.
You better not suck.
Oh, I tell everybody top 5's a win for me in this race.
You think you're gonna be top
No, hold on.
5?
Let's be honest. That race is a good race. There is probably 10
You
to
will
12.
not be top 5.
I think making that race would be
Top
a win
five's a
for
win.
people. There's going to be
No,
a lot of
we're
stout
going-
competition there.
top 5.
George, am I capable?
Of what?
Top 5?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Who?
Andy Nichols.
I don't know who that is.
Wasn't he in Toy Story? No?
No, he's got one of Mighty Mike Lewis' old cars.
No way. Huh. That's pretty cool.
And he's got his only car, really.
So that must have been the one that Carl built and David did some work to after. Yeah, that must be that car.
I think now that George is on his last year, I just think it's only
I
fair.
call BS in that. I was off
I
the
think
mic
it's
for
only
that.
fair
I
that
call
you-
BS.
It ain't my last.
Well, it's your
Yeah.
last full-time-ish year. I think
Well, I'm
you
not-
should move over to crew chief for your lovely wife.
If I'm going to be crew chief for anybody, it's going to be for my 2 kids.
I like that. There you go.
Ah, there you go. Sorry, you're not racing Chastity.
What
It's
about
not-
me?
She actually said that here.
You want crew chief me in
Asked
Hudson
me
when
if
I
he's
make
going
my
to let his
debut?
girls race.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
But hey, you better help me.
He's gonna need all the help he can get, George. Give the boy a hand.
I don't know if I got that much aspirin.
He doesn't want to lose the hair on that day.
Natalia wants to know if her daddy's going to let her race.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. This family is going to continue for years and years out there.
And sorry to stop. I waited that time.
I was so proud of you.
Jeffrey Pike also said that he would throw extra money if we get more than 20 mini stocks as well.
What's that?
Jeffrey Pike said he would throw extra money if we get over 20 mini stocks.
Well, that's safe money.
Excellent. I think it can completely be done 100%.
I will say this: I am heavily impressed with the car counts. They really have been.
And we went green to checker.
Yep.
You did.
Yep.
Facebookless Jeff just said that he will get you he has a trophy for you every single time you come to Lee this year.
I'll tell you, he is awesome. He's such a fun guy.
Yeah, Jeffrey said he'd throw 100 on top of my double and whatever more we get on top.
I'm just going to go out there and say now, if we cannot get 20 mini stocks to this next race, like what's going on? You're doubling the purse. Pike's throwing in 100. Matt Shippey said he has 100 if they get over 20 as well. Like,
I think the way the payout goes, if there's over 10 cars, it's $250 to win the minis.
I do not know that.
So
number.
I'm pretty sure it's $250 to win. So that makes my double. That makes it $500 plus another $200. That's $700. Plus, if we get over 20, everyone after that has an extra 100. So there's a chance it could be $1,000 to win if over 20 cars come.
This is absolutely insane. Why don't you guys show up and get it out there? You guys had a very good race this weekend.
We had 16 last weekend. We're close.
You're
We're
4
almost there.
off. 4 off. And then when you retire out, you're going to be one less. So
When I retire out, my car is going to get raffled for like $20 a spot for like 10 spots.
$20 a spot.
And not for nothing, but it's a pretty good car. But I'm really going to raffle it really cheap so someone can get into it and go have a good time. Honest to God.
Are you really going to do that?
I swear to God.
That's awesome.
You should give it to the winner of this race. That's what you should do.
Why would I do that? Then no one gets a chance. No one new gets a chance to get in it. That's
They absolutely after the
I like
fact.
your theory. Yeah, you're trying to give it to someone who doesn't have a car, but
yeah, like someone that's a little less fortunate or whatever. George knows what to do with that thing. Turns too many RPM for him.
you're right.
He'd be like, oh my God, it's over 5,000 RPM.
Have you ever driven a
it's
mini
definitely-
stock, George?
Have I?
Yes.
Yeah, I drove a real mini stock.
Yeah, two
Yeah,
rear wheel
an
drive
old
ones.
Star.
Yep, a Star. Yeah,
Oh,
Two
enough.
chassis mini stock.
yeah, real one.
A real one.
I
A mini
remember
pro
those.
stock, basically. Not some Honda.
Listen, you
We're
guys can all
okay.
say what you want, but
Not something
they're
built at the
cheap
garage.
to build. That's what I like about it.
The car you built for Fultz is top notch too, by the way.
That
That
thing's
thing
nice.
is
I
gorgeous.
mean, I will give Bob that. You build a great car. You do. You build a fast car. I don't know what magic potion you're putting on.
else.
George
Somebody came up to me.
George has got a point.
Someone came up to me Saturday and said too, like, "Hey Bob, didn't you build that?" I'm like, "Yeah." Why don't you make yours go like his?
It's crazy how fast those cars
but here's the
actually
thing.
go.
George can attest to this because I'm sure, George, you've had your struggles in years with cars that you built for yourself and is probably getting beat by some cars that you've built for other people. That just shows you a good chassis builder doesn't just hold all the recipe in house. He puts it into his cars. That's why George's cars continually run up front.
When I build the cars, I give everybody the same car.
Yep.
I don't care if you are a millionaire or scraping by. Everybody gets the same car.
Yep.
Nobody gets anything different.
What got you into building chassis? Obviously building your own, but when did the light go off and say, you know what, I don't mind sharing my secrets and start building chassis for other people?
Basically, before I started, my father was building a street stock for this kid Gary Dion to drive, and then I basically built the cage in the car, and I was 13. So that was how I started, and then when I started racing, then my cousin Dave started racing, so I ended up building his cars, and then
I'm trying not to laugh, but I saw the comment come in, and I see Bob shaking his head no, so I know exactly what he's responding to, and I'm trying not to laugh because this is actually a great story.
And basically that's how I got started. And then I built all my own cars. I built a car for Peter Jarek, which actually he still has. Then built some more cars for my cousin, and then other people wanted cars, so then I just started building cars.
How many of your cars are out there right now still racing?
Hot.
I have no idea.
What was that 66 that Ford you built for street stock back in the mid 90s, late 90s?
Granada?
Oh, did you build that thing?
I built the 60.
You drove, was it 60? No, that was Timmy Lord's car.
Yes.
What was that car that you drove? I thought it was a Ford.
No, it was a Chevy.
Was it a Chevy? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
66.
Yeah, what was that
The
guy's
red
name?
one?
What was-
Timmy Kadir.
That's it. Yeah, Timmy Kadir. Yep. Okay.
That guy was the biggest rat going, and I made all you guys look stupid with it.
The Granada's still going. The one
Is
that
it the Timmy
Ford,
Lord's car?
Yeah.
Really? Where's it running?
Josh has it.
It'll be at Star Friday.
Oh, no kidding.
The Pro Enduro thing.
That's funny.
But I want to get back
The
real
year,
quick
the year I won the championship, he actually won Rookie of the Year that year. Yeah.
on Foltz's car. So in 2017, I really started getting into racing, and that's when I built some mini socks for people.
All right,
And-
cool story. Let's go on. Who
Oh,
else won?
enough. So same thing with George. Like I hit on something and I built all cars and I did them all the same way. But just like George, it's nothing's ever good enough. So you're always trying to do something else, and then you end up sometimes shooting yourself in the foot and going right back to what you started at. But you got to know what works and doesn't work to make it faster. That's
How many
life is.
different iterations of chassis have you had over the years? And when did you hit on a winning combination?
94.
3.
I was close.
93. I built my first Bud Light car. Basically, all the cars that I build now are pretty much identical to that.
What's a Bud Light car compared to right now?
Street model?
Street stock. It's star.
So
That's
like
Star.
a little more than a street model.
Yes. Not much more.
Not much more.
So street model would still,
The front suspension being stock location
yeah,
parameters is what
Yeah.
the difference really is.
basically just the upper mount.
What Bud Light's wide wheels?
8-inch.
So no.
Those were cool.
Same as.
Bud Lights were cool.
Were they on slicks or
Yes,
treaded?
8-inch slicks.
So that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I got a question for George. Being a chassis builder, what would it take for those the Outlaws now? I'm sorry. What's the?
They're outlaws.
Are they
Outlaws.
Okay. What would it take for those things to thrive again? Because I think that's a great division.
Those
But
are
what-
fun cars.
Yeah. What would it take for those things to thrive again?
I think what happened was it took too long to get back to that because people that had the cars, either turned them into
What
You know-
ruined that division was store-bought cars.
yes, like Squealy's car and stuff.
That Hauka that was. Yeah.
Squealy's car with the side rail,
Yeah.
wing panel, whatever it was,
The Outlaws were great when it was cars that people had.
that had nowhere to go
They
anymore.
had nowhere to race.
Big
They could
motor
go
in
and
it
race
and go.
Yeah.
and go race. And that's when it was good.
Yeah.
All right,
And
you're
just-
talking Outlaws that used to run at Hudson. I think Kevin's talking
Hudson
to
and
the.
Star, yes.
Yeah.
I
so,
think you're
yeah,
talking
I'm-
about the
I'm
current
talking about
Outlaw
the current
division
Outlaws,
for
yeah.
the
The
old.
current Outlaws now, they're just overpriced. And if you're going to build one of them, you might as well just build a Pro Stock.
Yeah.
Those cars seemed when they get a bunch
I'll build
out there,
an
those
Acca.
things are phenomenal to
Yep.
watch.
Yeah, they are. They're awesome to watch, but it's so expensive to get one where it needs to be.
All right, so I'm being told that your children are watching this right here. Is there anything that you can give them for advice as they get older and start making the jump into racing? And Bella wants to know if she can race and learn to start building race cars with you.
Of course you can. She already does.
awesome. That's cool.
What advice would you give your children going out there on the track?
Listen.
All right, and listen, and I think you would also make them come into the shop and still learn how to work on that. Bob was on to something there. Bob doesn't
They're
get
gonna
things right
race.
often.
If they're going to race, they're going to work on it.
Bob doesn't get things right often, but when Bob said the people that just jump in the car and go are the ones that do not have the
I'm
respect.
anti that, and I'll tell you why. Because if it wasn't for me having the ability, we want to see cars out there at the end of the day, correct?
Yeah, but you actually, even though you don't work on the cars all the time, you do know how to, so you
But
know what
that-
it costs
yeah.
and you have the respect.
Yeah, but with that being said, I wouldn't be able to get out there if I didn't have guys like George or Bob in my life to be able to say, hey, listen, I got 2 businesses, 3 kids, I got, many other things going on. I would trust me. There's nothing I'd love to be
Hold
doing
on.
more. Shut up for a second. There's nothing I'd love to do more on a Saturday night than sit down and work on my race car. But I may be stuck in the office doing stuff there. And
Is he trying to prove a point right now?
I'm
He can't win a B main and then sells the car. Oh yeah, I'm the same thing.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I only raced like 4 times last year. I still think I won more races than Bob last year. Feature races.
He won a race last year.
No, I won like 7 or 8.
Did
no,
you?
I won,
He races?
No, I won 9 races last year.
Oh man, where was I? I don't watch those.
I won 9 races
all
last
right.
year.
So Mike,
Minis, though. They only count as a third.
How many cars?
Mike Marshall clarified it a little bit more, where he says
one of the races at 16.
Kevin pays for it. I think the guys who have it paid for are the ones are what we're
Yes,
meaning. The ones that
yes.
have it paid for and they don't go out there and work on it. You still foot the bill for this stuff, and a lot of these people do. Let's see.
The other thing is some of the kids that race and their parents don't make them work on the race car. They don't understand the race car. They don't understand what makes the race car work.
Yeah, so how do you know
Okay, they
to what
come
say
in
to how to adjust if you don't know anything about the
Exactly.
car? That makes a huge difference. I am honored to have the legend in here today. I got to thank everybody who made it possible. Thank you, Jess and Ben, for getting him to come in. And Bob, now you have 30 seconds to say whatever you want. Let's give
I'm
Bob
done.
the floor. Now,
done.
now he has
Praise-
nothing to
only
say.
30
Praise
seconds?
Jesus.
That's all I need. And
Thank you so much.
What
I
do
thought,
you-
I thought you were done.
oh, enough, Kevin.
God. Jeez.
Just make sure everybody's there to watch Kevin race next weekend or this weekend. Is it this weekend?
We'll be there this weekend. Are you going to come?
I'm being told you can't work on cars. You're going fishing.
Who says that?
That's on my phone. You're going fishing
Where
next
you
week.
racing?
Hudson.
Oh, you're not coming to Star? No big boy.
No, I got to get ready for the Mighty Mike.
no big boy.
I
Pants?
forget how to do this, so I got to
No
get
big
back
boy.
out.
No big boy pants.
I only get one night a week. That's it. That's all I get. I'm scared of you. Yeah, I saw how fast you were last time. I'm all set.
Come
I don't
on.
have enough speed for you. This guy was a rocket ship.
All right,
a few
guys.
weeks ago.
Claremont Motorsports Park practice this Wednesday night. Do not forget Claremont Motorsports Park this Friday night. Ace Tech's Tire and Auto night at the racetrack. Also, the Dwight Jarvis night as well. Modifieds, late models, Outlaws, 6 shooters, and pure stocks. We also have Hudson coming up as well. Stand Up to Cancer, Jeremy DeCourcy Memorial, NHSTRA Modifieds, and Northeast Auto Import late models, Granite State Gun Range, 6 shooters, MLM, Diagnostic Pure Stocks, and the NEMA Lights. And if you want to see downtown Kevin Brown out in a race car, he'll be out there.
P8. Put it in right. Put it in pen.
I got to know, Milty
Mike's right on that one.
or Kevin? Who's going to finish
hold
higher?
on, Milty all the way. Milty does this every week. You know, and I'm the new guy, so Milty's pretty fast this year. George built him a good hot rod, and Milty's driving the wheels off it. So he's your current points leader. So I'm gonna put my money on Milton Duran.
Also reach
I'm gonna
out.
put my money in everybody except for Kevin.
Also, reach out to Mike Robinson. There's still
over him. He's a
laps
good bat.
available for the Mighty Mike Memorial. So reach out to him and let's get these things sold. Let's make the 25th anniversary show the biggest one yet.
Speaking of that, you can attest. Mighty Mike was the prototypical racer, right? He was a guy that you like to see at the racetrack. Worked on his stuff. You know, he was a guy that I'm sure you remember in those years and that time span that Mike was there. That you remember was a good hard nosed racer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a good
Did
one.
you race with him?
No.
Did you race with him?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I did race with him in street stocks.
Yep.
A little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Did you have leaf springs?
No.
No, he had coil springs back then.
Coil spring car.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever win in it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I got asked to leave
really?
Hudson Speedway.
That's why I use leaf springs, so you can give other people an advantage.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
If you go coils, you'll just kill them.
Oh yeah.
All right, that does it for us tonight. Get out and support your local short tracks. Thank you, George, very much for coming on. Choppy's Automotive, also Bob Williams, The Garage. And Kevin Brown is doing a merch drop soon at originalwheelman.com. A whole bunch of new merch. The shirt I'm wearing it right now, pretty soon there will be more than 2 people who own this shirt. I'm going to be super bummed because it's cool when I get to walk around with it knowing it's only one of 2. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week.